welcome to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. I am your host, Alyssa Rogers, and today we have a familiar face on the podcast. Miss Sabren Salty, are you so excited to be here?
I'm excited. I am so ready to talk about what the last year of being at Rogers has been like.
You just celebrated your 1 year anniversary with Rogers on March 6th. How does it feel?
It feels great. I am extremely lucky to have surrounded myself with the best possible human beings that I've ever met in my life. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. It's been great. Yeah.
And we didn't really prep for this podcast.
No.
So when I asked Sabren if she would be on this episode, I said, I want to celebrate your 1 year. I want to talk about your 1 year. And she's like, well, what should I be prepared to talk about? What are some questions? I'm like, oh, I'll get them together. And here we are today. And I did not get them together.
I think that's a good thing. Yeah. I think I would have over-prepared. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah. And, you know, we talk a lot.
Yes.
And we've become close over this year. And we're both in leadership positions at Rogers. You have a bomb team.
Bomb.
Yes, bomb team in the Opportunity Center. And we were just talking recently about how leadership is tough. It is so tough. And it's changed so much over the last year. So I kind of want to go through that and like what it's really like to be in a leadership role. And people can say, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to be in a role like this. I want to grow. But it doesn't mean things get easier.
No. The opposite.
Yes.
Fact, things get harder. My team is bomb.
Yes.
I mean, shout out to the Opportunity Center who currently has a CSR who's in level 4, a dispatcher who's a level 4 CSR and a level 2 dispatcher, a level 3 CSR who is about to move into sales, which is incredible. I've got a weekend warrior, I've got an install coordinator, and a new position to the Opportunity Center, which is the hybrid position, hybrid CSR and hybrid dispatcher, which is really, really cool. And they're amazing. And I've got a group of people in there right now that are teachers.
Yes.
Right? And so they're teaching what I've taught and what I've taught them. And I think that one of the toughest things about leadership is the self-development that you have to have and the feedback that you hear from people that you highly, highly respect.
Oh, yeah.
That might hurt your feelings so bad. And you have to readjust that and you have to grow yourself too. Because at this point, I feel like my team has grown and now they can teach what they've learned. And now it's just time for me to buck up and take it to the next level.
Yes, so many emotions when I'm hearing you talk about that. Because what was it like when you started here?
Gosh, it was.
And I don't think they would care if you talked about it.
No, gosh. It was a little messy.
Yes.
It was a little messy, I have to say. But we battled.
Yes.
The past 12 months have been a straight battle for the entire organization. From the field technicians to everybody in the office, like we've been fighting.
Yes.
And we have fought every single day. And sometimes we've taken those big fat L's and you can feel, how your team members, they lose their passion a little bit and then you have to help them build that passion back up. So it's been a battle. We are just going to keep fighting every single day. And we are so lucky to have the customer base that we have. The people of Halifax County and surrounding areas are so graceful and amazing. And it's it's so easy to work with our customers, which is really nice too.
100%. And if you're a customer watching or listening, like think about the transition over the years. If you've been a customer with us for years, you can probably call in and see the difference and hear the difference and the processes that we put in place and the training that is done and multiple people in the community coming up and saying, the way you answer the phone at Rogers, it just makes my day. And a lot of that is because of you.
Yeah.
And so thank you
Yeah,
for that.
of course. I couldn't do it without my team.
Yes.
Honestly, they put forth the effort every single day, and they are so eager to do better and to be better. And it's fun listening back at some of their phone calls from when they first started to now, because they can see it. They can actually see how much they've grown, because I'll tell them how not great it was in a heartbeat, but they're consistently working on themselves, which is great.
But the cool thing about you is you're willing to go in there, roll your sleeves up, and do it with them, beside them. You're not just telling them, you have to do this is the way it needs to be done, and you walk away. You're with them.
Oh, yeah. I'll get my hands a little dirty. I'm fine with that.
Yes.
And I actually have so much fun with it, too. Dispatching and customer service rep stuff, like that is a passion of mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to get in there for them to hear a different perspective. And I know that my team picks up a lot of what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And they might say, oh, that's how you build rapport, right? Or those are some really great listening skills. Or I love the way she ended that phone call. But if my team is in battle, I'm in battle right there with them.
Oh, yes, you are. And the cool thing, the thing that makes my heart so happy is they hold themselves so accountable.
Oh, yeah.
So if they have a phone call that they don't think they did their best, or they think they could have done better, I hear them coming to you and saying, hey, can you listen to this call? I want to know what your advice is on how I could have been better on this call and what I could have done differently. And that's so cool.
Rock stars.
Yes.
Opportunity Center is full of rock stars.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very, very lucky. It's so hard to be that way as a human being, to be like, I know this wasn't great. Can you teach me how to do better?
Yeah. And the cool thing about the Opportunity Center, I think it's so cool when people start in that role and they really get to see every aspect of the business and how it operates. And then you see them transitioning out into new roles. And so you said someone will be transitioning from a CSR to the sales department here very soon. So that means an opportunity opens up.
Yes, an opportunity does open up, and not to like flex or anything, but I do want to say this is the second person that I have started training and has moved into the sales department. They're in great hands with Justin. He is an incredible leader, just amazing at what he does over there in sales. So I'm excited for them. But yes, an opportunity is opening up in our department, and it is a great opportunity to get your feet wet into the trades and learn every aspect of what Rogers has to offer and really start a career.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep your eyes out for a position that will be opening very soon to join that Rockstar team, because it's tight-knit.
It's tight-knit.
Yes,
in there,
it's a family in there, and they lift everyone up every time they walk in the door. And we talked a little bit about leadership at the beginning. Everyone watching this right now, do we look tired? Do we look tired? Do we look like different than the normal videos and pictures that you see? Because I feel like I've just been hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that?
I ran you over, and then it ran me over, and then I went into reverse and did it again.
Sabren told me this weekend, she's like, you know, I really wanted to talk to you this weekend, and I'm like thinking about my weekend. I went MIA this weekend. Like, it's been a rough, I would say, month.
Yes.
Where we have been in battle, and I think that this is a great opportunity to open up to our listeners on how it's not always great.
No.
I mean, we have a lot of great moments, and there's a lot to celebrate, and we are growing really, really fast. And with that comes really tough days, weeks, months, sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like, how are you feeling?
Exactly like you said, kind of like I've been, beat up a little bit. I think over the past several weeks, like I've taken some gut punches.
Yeah.
And it has not been pretty, and it has not been easy at all. And I've had to spend a lot of time reflecting on feedback and figuring out how I can do better for the organization. And it's not an easy task. It's a very, very tall task. And you got to keep fighting every day. I mean, it was hard for me to walk into the building today. And I got in there and I thought, I've got to give it every ounce of what I've got this week because I've got to raise my leadership lead. I absolutely have to raise that, and nobody deserves me at 90%. Everybody who works for Rogers deserves me at 100%. And I'll tell you, when you're getting your ass beat out there, it is hard as hell to give that 100%.
It really is, and you talk about leadership lid, and for everyone listening, I think I've mentioned it on here before, but it really is when we're not in I hate to say it like this, but it's true, like we're not in a stable environment where it's the same every single day and we just need to show up and do our job. We are in a growing environment, which means it's important for us to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded and growth-minded and smarter than us and know more than us. And so then we have to always be raising our leadership lid and getting better for those around us. And that takes a lot of self-work, a lot of looking in the mirror. I've done it so much lately where it's like, I don't think I'm the best version of myself for the people that are looking up to me.
Right.
And what I want others to see, and the answer is no.
No.
And we're figuring that out.
We are figuring that out in the best/worst way possible. But you have to go through the emotions and you have to study and figure out what can I do differently that goes along with this person's feedback, because again, it goes back to I respect the heck out of this person's feedback, and I need to take that into consideration because I can't be like that moving forward.
Right.
I have to change my ways.
Yeah.
And this year, I think the leadership team as a whole has got to learn how to self-develop and raise their leadership lead, because we've got a huge team depending on us.
Yeah.
So we've got to make things right, and we've got to get things in order, and we've got to step our game up. That's for sure.
It is so true. I mean, I always talk about we're growing. What does that mean? And that means adding more people, which means serving more customers, which also means more people are depending on us.
Yeah.
And they're looking up to us. And when you feel like, I don't know if anyone watching or listening has ever felt like this, and if you have, please give us all the advice.
Please.
Please.
I'll take it.
Yeah, please give us all the advice of how you transition and grow yourself over time, because we're definitely trying to hold each other accountable, but we have a lot of other people holding us accountable too. And so it can be hard when you go home at night and feel like you didn't accomplish anything or you didn't do your best, and then trying to figure out how you're going to go to work the next day and the next day. And so leadership and growth is uncomfortable.
Oh God. Yeah, it's extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have met a leader in my lifetime that has felt comfort in their position. I think it's supposed to be a little uncomfortable at all times. But, and the leadership and guidance, I just have to say, that I've had in the past year has been incredible. I mean, Joey Rogers he's one of the smartest men that I know.
Yeah.
And so I've had him guiding me and leading me for the past year, which is amazing. And I'm excited to see what the next year and will bring, the year of his knowledge will bring. So that's really exciting. But yeah, going back to leadership, it's consistent, heavy work every single day. And the people who are holding you the most accountable are your direct people that work with you.
Yeah, it can be really heavy, and we kind of check in with each other. You are better at checking in with me. And you'll be like, how you feeling today? And you're the one that makes me put it into words, because I hold a lot in. And so you make me put it into words, which is great. Thank you for that, because it makes me self-actualize how I'm actually feeling. But it's going to be a hell of a year.
It's going to be a hell of a year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great one. And it's going to feel like that truck hit us a few more times on the way down. But I mean, if we have as much success as we've had in the past 12 months that we have in another 12 months, I am so excited to see how much more we develop. And I'm excited for the entire team at Rogers, and I'm excited for the leadership team, especially because I want to see some progress.
Yes, sure. And that is, like, I want everyone to understand, like, we're sitting here being raw and honest, and it's not easy to do. It's not easy, and I know you're probably thinking, well, they're telling us stuff without telling us a whole lot, but I really, if I look back a year ago, and I could probably go and listen to podcast episodes a year ago and see where we were and what we were doing, I don't want to be that version of myself. I don't want to be sitting here right now and say, oh, you know, I'm the same as I was last year and things are great. We have to go through these emotions and these feelings to get better.
Yes.
In a year from now, we'll probably be sitting here and going through totally different things. And it's just a cool journey.
It is.
And to know that we're all able to grow together and hold each other accountable.
Totally.
And I mean, what is your goal? Like, what are some things you're trying to achieve this year?
Well, great question. I think it all kind of ties into what we've been talking about this whole time, but I really want to develop myself into a better leader. And I'm so confident in the Opportunity Center right now that I know that the people that I have in place there can teach the ones that are coming. And so now I'm teaching leadership in the Opportunity Center, all while I can work on my own leadership.
That's really cool to see too.
Yeah, it is.
And so everyone may think we're over here complaining and it's like, oh, things are so rough. Like, how are we going to get through this? And like may think everything's doom and gloom at Rogers. And it's not.
No.
It's not doom and gloom at all. It's just us realizing that we need to get better for ourselves and for our team. And that's going to continue to happen. And we're going to continue growing this thing. And getting bigger and serving all of you and making this a great place.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you're doing great.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yes, you have a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, I do. I am so incredibly lucky. I want to say, like, a lot of the times when we talk about leadership, right? If I'm talking to you or I'm talking to Joey about leadership and what we're going through, it's tough conversations.
Yes.
But those are conversations that you have as a leadership team. But then outside of that, right, you go into your own team, or I go into the Opportunity Center and I'm like, all right, you guys, like, let's rock and roll. Like, you have to turn it off and you have to be what your people need from you. So, so the Opportunity Center is rocking and rolling, and they're in there right now teaching and doing what they do best. So it feels
I invite anyone, and you may not want me to do this, but I'm telling you, like, I tell everyone this when I'm out in public, because when people come up to me and they're like, oh, they do so good on the phone and this, I'm like, stop by anytime. Like, it really is awesome to watch live in action, and you don't have to call and set up a time. Show up and just come see us, because it really is magic that happens in there. It's
so
magical.
Good. Yeah, it's so good. It's so smooth. A few kinks, of course, which are to be expected, and we're going to continue to grow that aspect of specifically dispatching and how to get better at that. But oh my gosh, it's like a well-oiled machine in there.
It is, and anyone that, you know, we're not perfect. And like you said, there are kinks. And if you've had a not so great experience, I really highly encourage you to talk to us about it. Because, you know, we are really trying to get better every single day. And we are conditioning ourselves to take those hits and take those L's so we can get better. And that's the only way we're going to get better. And so I highly encourage you, like, check out the Opportunity Center. Our doors are open. Come see us.
Please.
10 a.m. is a cool time too.
It's a good time. Yeah. 10 a.m.s are always fun around the office.
Yes, 10s are good. There's a great meeting every morning at 10 o'clock. So if you want to join that, that's the time to come.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so what else do you want to tell everyone?
What else do I want to tell everybody? I just want to say that I know that I've mentioned this a few times, but to the Rogers Heating and Cooling team, I am so grateful for you guys. To our customers who call us every single day, whether you guys are ecstatic and super happy about the services we provide, or maybe you need some additional assistance from us, please give us a call, and thank you for everything that you guys have done for Rogers, and I can't wait to see what's next and what's in store for us.
I wouldn't want to do this journey with anyone else.
Girl, seriously, I'm so serious. And so true.
1 year
So
later,
true.
I'm just as excited to have you on the team.
Yes.
Even more excited. You've become a great coworker, a great leader, a great friend, and I just really appreciate you. And thank you so much. I can't wait to see what you accomplish
Me
this
too.
year.
Thank you.
Once we get our energy levels back up.
Once we get our shit together.
Well said. We're going to go work on that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all of you for listening to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. Thank you to Sabren for coming on and being a rock star, as she always is, and actually allowing me to sit down and talk with her unprepared.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, rate, do all of the things so we can continue bringing you this content. I appreciate all of you. We will talk to you next week.